just basic things about getting mental. I've been trying to scope the internet on different social welfare policies, and I was really interested in like the mental health policies because I want to know what we're doing for the people who have those kind of issues. Most of the things I pulled up were things about the Affordable Care Act, how employers need to offer mental health treatment, but nothing I found said anything about what we're doing to help those who do have mental health issues. So my concern here is the court system. What are we doing to help them during the court process? Like, are we doing anything special? Are we offering any kind of assistance? For example, when I last went to court, I was supposed to have an advocate from Center for Victims present at the court hearing. Court came, no advocate. So, I sat there. Without getting into too much detail, I want to state that this other person has a mental health issue too. I've never once used it against her. She's used it as a threat towards me. But I've never used it against her because I have relatives with the same mental health issues. It's just, where does the line go where we say, okay, they're doing this because of their mental health, so let's help them. Or, let's hold them responsible for what they're doing. I mean, I naively, wanted to not help this person, but give this person a chance, to redeem themselves of sorts. So I took a plea deal. I didn't want the person to get in trouble. I just wanted the situation over with. So the policies that I think, really need reformed are policies regarding mental health. Police officers aren't as trained as they should be when it comes to mental health. When me and this other woman went to court, I'm going based off of things that she said. She had said that, the police barged in, guns drawn, to pick her up. And if that be the case, that shouldn't have happened. She said that they did that because they knew about her mental health condition. And if that be the case, they need more training. So I do agree with that point that she made. They do need training on how to deal with people with mental health. And that could be on a state, national, and global level. I feel like a lot of people in the social welfare system are people with mental health conditions, and there's a stigma around them because people don't take the time to understand what condition people have. They treat the people as criminals in all these shows and movies. They don't show, the person who has this condition, who is medicated and a prestige person of society. Because just because I have ADD or suffer from depression or anxiety or PTSD doesn't mean I'm going to make irrational decisions based off of my anxiety. Other family member, they have borderline personality disorder. When treated, they're perfectly fine. When untreated, that's when they start using. And that's when their personalities are like night and day. How this person is when they are treated and not on drugs is a whole other person than they are when they aren't treated and are using. You would think you were talking to two different people. She is two different people, depending on what medication she's on and if she's using. But you wouldn't know that. Not from, movies or TV shows. They don't highlight that. They don't show you that people with these mental health conditions are treatable, and when treated and taking the right steps, they aren't dangerous just because they have these conditions. Like, people who don't have conditions have the capabilities of doing these same exact things. So I think these policies need to reflect that. There are some mental conditions where people do need more assistance, where they need the extra help, or, not every mental health condition has to do with, your personality and things of sorts. You could have, mental retardation, and those people need, the extra assistance. And I know people who are autistic who don't speak, but are some of the smartest people I've ever met. And based on the stigma that's around autistic people, you would think that they weren't, that they don't have these capabilities, but they do, just like you and me. And whether that be because of some extra assistance or, I don't want to say special treatment, but, they need the extra support. And I think everyone should have access to it. With mine, more recently, I failed my bio exam that I recently had because I processed everything that was said backwards. So everything they said about anions, I thought was cations, and everything about cations, I thought was anions, and I just, I heard it all backwards. I think mental health is a huge part of society, and that it's something that is always going to need reform, because there's new conditions coming out every day. There's new treatments, and, there's new stigmas, and so it's something that we're going to have to work on all the time. There's no straight line across. And that's one of the reasons, I'm going for my psychology degree and my social worker degree, because I want to know what makes people tick, and then I want to help those who need help, who aren't understood, who are stigmatized against, like drug addicts and people with mental health conditions. And not saying that, they can't be the same, because drug addiction is a disease. I'm sorry, it is. But that's not up for debate during this video. So I think we need to reform mental health care completely, on a state level, a national level, and global perspective. Because reality is, people aren't prepared to deal with mental health conditions. I think part of this reform needs to be training on different mental health conditions and situations, because there's situations in the past where people have been shot and killed by police officers because they thought this person was dangerous, when in reality they were having an episode. Episodes can be controlled. If the person was subdued and medicated, they would have had a chance. So I think everyone deserves to have that chance.